Meanwhile, the dock workers' strike at the UK's largest container port continues today. About 1,900 members of the Unite Union at Felixstowe began an 8-day walkout yesterday in a dispute over pay. The port in Suffolk handles nearly half of the UK's container trade. Let's speak now to Alexandra Herdman, who is Public Policy Manager at UK Logistics. That's the trade body for the UK freight industry. Alexandra, morning to you. Thank you for joining us here on the BBC News Channel. So day 2 of an 8-day strike. What impact are you seeing so far or expecting over the next week and beyond?
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me. So yes, you're right. We're on day 2 of a strike in our largest container port, Felixstowe. And what's coming through Felixstowe is typically non-urgent, long shelf life items that set off on their journey weeks ago. And so what we're likely to see are maybe some short-term delays, but nothing that's going to cause huge disruption to the consumer. A lot of the impact is going to be felt by the logistics companies who are perhaps having to reroute, and the shipping lines who are dropping off perhaps at different ports first or slowing down so that they get to Felixstowe after the strike.
So when you have supply chain experts doing interviews saying that some of the goods that are coming into Felixstowe or would normally be coming into Felixstowe, that this strike might cause some disruption with goods for Halloween, Black Friday, are they exaggerating?
Well, you're right. We're at the beginning of what we call peak season now, which is when a lot of these items start coming in. But obviously, we're talking about things that are going to be happening months from now, which is why the sector prepares so early in advance, so that we can absorb some of these disruptions if they happen.
OK, so just a bit more detail, if you would, Alexandra, on at what point might containers need to be diverted to other ports? You're not expecting that, I understand from what you said, to happen if this remains as an 8-day strike, but at what point would you start considering that?
No, as I understand it, the shipping containers are being diverted to other ports or dropping off and rerouting and coming to Felixstowe later. OK,
so that is already happening?
Yes.
That suggests that the people in receipt of those goods, the supply chain businesses, yourselves at Logistics UK, are nervous about any possible disruption to that supply chain. And we've seen through the pandemic, it's ongoing because of the war in Ukraine, how important those supply chains are, how sensitive so many parts of organisations can be to any disruptions to those supply chains.
Yes, you're absolutely right. A lot of the disruption is going to be felt by the logistics companies who are having to react and make changes to their operations to perhaps pick up at different ports. And so, there is a lot of activity going on to minimise disruption to the supply chain and to the consumer.
Are you sympathetic to the aims of the strikers?
What Logistics UK is calling for is a continued negotiation between the union and the port to come to an agreement that really will prevent any further disruption.
Do you have any other thoughts or advice at Logistics UK for the two sides in this dispute?
To keep talking and to come to an agreement.
So when I ask you, are you sympathetic to the aims of the strikers, you didn't answer that question directly. I guess you're trying to take a neutral position here, but presumably you are very much aware of the cost of living crisis and what the workers there are saying about what they're paid.
Yes, absolutely. Logistics UK represents all of logistics, and we represent the companies and the people working there. So we really just want to see minimal disruption and for everything to get back on track.
OK, Alexandra, thank you very much for your time today. Alexandra Herdman, their Public Policy Manager at UK Logistics. That's the trade body for the UK freight industry. Now, rubbish is continuing to pile up on the streets of Edinburgh.